What up? This your boy Sean Breed. Y'all watching Team Focus Radio with my man So Focus.
Yeah! Did you know what it is? Team Focus Radio. I'm your host, So Focus. I'm back at NYC with my dog, Sean Breed. What's going on, man?
What up, baby?
Scracky, thank you for coming through, man. It's a long
Not
drive.
that time. Yeah, not that bad.
It's been a long time coming, man.
Yeah.
I done took
man.
over for like, damn, 2.5 years, man.
Yeah, this was supposed to happen, a while ago, man. But, time is right now.
Time is right now. Perfect time.
That's
Right.
it.
Let's get these questions real quick.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
first
yeah.
of all, where you from?
Originally from Brooklyn. I say I'm all over New York. Like, I'm a New Yorker by heart because I think I lived in every borough. Harlem, Uptown was like probably just a little stint, but I lived in all the boroughs, you know what I mean? But born and raised in Brooklyn, you know what I mean? So I'm a Brooklynite. Staten Island too.
What part of Brooklyn you lived in?
East New York.
Oh, me too,
East
man.
New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pink houses, man.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. East New York, Brownsville.
I left from high
You
school.
know. Huh?
I left from high school.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, Brooklyn never leaves, man.
So I know my experience. So what is your experience growing up in Brooklyn?
Really, I mean, good times. Like bittersweet, in my early years, it was home. You know what I mean? We didn't know that we was living in the type of situations we were living in. But then as you got older and you start getting into certain things or whatever, then the real life happens. You know what I mean? But it's my home. You know what I mean? I love it. I'm not in Brooklyn anymore as far as like, living there, but I'm there all the time, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, bittersweet, good experiences, bad experiences, but I love it.
So when did you decide I want to get involved in music?
It was almost like a no-brainer. Like my grandfather was a jazz musician, my father sang, you know what I mean? He was obsessed with music. That's all we had, like, in the house. Like, music was just playing all the time, you know what I mean? So, and we was just, it was around it, we was so much just involved. Like my father would bring us, like we would be around live bands that played in our house, you know what I mean? So they would be having jam sessions, in the house, you know what I mean? So it was just almost like, this is something that you gotta do, my uncle, rest in peace to my Uncle Gino. I named a song, I did a song and video named after him. We would go to his house on the weekends, Marcus Garvey, Brownsville, and he would have, or East New York on Wilmore and East 98th Street, and he would just have the whole block, like music coming out the windows, everything. He had crates of records, you know what I mean? So it was like, you just had to do it. You know what I mean? I didn't see no other way, like I being a lawyer, doctor, or doing something else. Nah, it had to be entertainment. Like it was in my blood because it was all, every angle. You know what I mean? Somebody was doing it. My father, grandfather, even my mother at some points. You know what I mean? So I had to.
So being involved in music, there's so many artists out there right now, right? So what would you say separates you from everybody else?
I guess a freedom that I have in not following a trend. I was never a follower, you know what I mean? Just like, if somebody is doing this, everybody's doing this, I go the other way intentionally. Like, it's almost subconsciously like, okay, everybody want to wear this or everybody want to do this like that. I'm just not going to do it. So that separates me, you know what I mean? Is following what I feel. I do literally, even though it may not sound outlandish, I literally just do what I feel. I have no pulse on what else is going on. Because I feel like when you are true to yourself, nobody else can criticize. Like, how somebody gonna criticize you being you? Like, yo, I don't really like the way your facial expressions. Fuck you, that's me. You know what I mean? Like you can't critique somebody being themselves, but you could You could critique a copycat, somebody that's, you know what I mean, copying somebody else or following a trend or a wave. You could critique that because you didn't create that. You know what I mean? It's you know, a lot of people doing that, so you can't critique. I can critique that and say, no, you're not doing it as good as the other person that's riding this wave. You can't critique me speaking about life experiences or, you know, like my song and video yesterday. When I'm speaking about, it's like yesterday, the lights went out. It was like yesterday, you know, certain things, the food or, you know, the money ran out, you know. So that's my life, real life. You can't critique that. That's why I don't like people, you know, you get these people, I don't knock them, but you get a lot of spam mail or even not spam mail, I get people that know me or whatever and they have shows such as yours or whatever and they're like, yo, yeah, get on the show, we could play your song and then we give you feedback. You're not giving me feedback. I gave myself feedback. Like you could do it on your own behind doors. You and your people, I don't like that song. I don't like that. But to give me feedback, okay, so this is where I think you need to do better in expressing your life to people. How you gonna tell somebody that? You know what I mean? So I was always wary of that. Like, what? Like other people could do that. You know, up and comers coming up new. Like, nah, you can't give me feedback on my life, how I feel, how I wanted to say this verse or this line. You can't do that. Not with me, you know, but, you know, to each his own, but that's the long version of what makes me different.
So how do you feel about today's music though? Cause
I actually love it, man. I mean, I was just talking to my brother, Beaton is my producer for everything that I do. Is just, you know, Young Thug. Again, he's being him. He's really like, I believe that's him. You know what I mean? It's authentic. It come across as really authentic. The only thing that I don't like is when there's no balance. It's leaning from one side, you know, it's leaning to one side and not the other. I like a lot of different things. You know what I mean? You know, if you listen to Michael Jackson, and then listen to Prince, like two different types of song style or whatever, but you know, and then go from there and listen to a female artist or whatever. So it don't have to be one way with me. Good music is good music. You know what I mean? You know.
Talk about your IG a little bit because you definitely got a lot of motivational speeches on there and things like that. So what's the idea behind that?
It wasn't even an idea, like just like no premeditated thing. This is what I do. People that know me personally, they know. They're like, that's just Sean in front of a camera. This is what I do all day long with people. We talk about relationships, my boys, somebody be like, yo, this girl, and I'm like, I'm just very vocal. Like, nah, that's the way you lose them, man. Not like I know everything, but they know that I experienced a lot or whatever. And it's like, and then we'll get into discussions, you know, all the time. Or just meet somebody on the street, you know, and they just, you know, one dude the other day, he just went into this whole story about Vietnam. And we got on politics and, you know, and I was just sitting out in the street and we talking, my kids, they be like, oh, boy, here you go again. Like, you know, so what I do on IG is like me off camera anyway, you know what I mean? So it wasn't an idea, it just me being me.
And you had a record, I believe it was called Glitter.
Glitter, yeah.
There's kind of a little bit of controversy around a little bit. Like, do you feel comfortable speaking about that?
Yeah, totally. Glitter, actually the title was Mansa Musa. Other people gave it the title Glitter because I say that in the hook, right. You know what I mean? So they like, yo, that Glitter song. I even hashtag that, like that Glitter song because so many people. It wasn't really a controversy. It was, you know, a lot of people started hitting me up, like talking about the Cardi B thing. A lot of people was hitting me up, and it was just like, you know, yo, like it just seems like it's very reminiscent of your song. And me being in the game, like I've been in the game, like I brush it aside because I don't own no rights to a certain cadence or the way something sounds. I hear stuff all the time. I'm like, oh shit, that sounds just like J. Cole or you know what I mean? Just one little piece. So I'm like, Nah, like, yeah, I ain't even paying no mind, but you have to start paying attention to when people, more than one person start. If you say, you know, like you're so focused, like, you know, I look at some of your videos and the way you do it or whatever, it's just, it's dope or whatever. Like you said, the energy, like I like that. Boom, and then you got the Casanova, for the backdrop, the music, I like that or whatever. So you start getting more than one person saying like, yo, that's dope, I like that or whatever. I'm talking about even before you present it to the world or whatever. People are like, yo, that's dope or whatever. You have to take notice of that. Like, yeah, a lot of people are saying they like this and the way you know, I pay attention to shit. The scope,
right.
You know what I mean? Like that or whatever. Like, you have to listen.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I started listening because 10, 15, 20 people, I'm like, yo, I even called the producer, like, you think that sound like, he like, nah, I mean, first of all, I hate, you know, no disrespect, you know, that's how we talk. I hate that song or whatever, it don't say, but I could get, as a producer, I get what they talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, all right. So just in case there's malice involved, I gotta play chess. And that's why I put a video up saying like, yo, you know, and that's why I didn't attack and say Cardi B like that. You know, I kind of did a little joke, a spin on it, like, yo, tell your writers stop looking at my page or whatever, you know. And they do that. You know, people do that.
Glitter, 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 glitter. It ain't all glitter, glitter. You see diamonds in the picture. I see a whole gang of hitters, but I see glitter, 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 glitter. It ain't all glitter, glitter. You see diamonds in the picture. I see a whole gang of hitters.
Press, 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 press. Cardi don't need more press. Kill them all, put them hoes to rest. Walk in bulletproof vest. Please tell me who she gon' check. Murder scene, Cardi made a mess.
They said, okay, you know, so focused, team focused, they not on this massive level yet,
Right.
but will be. But I could take that whole concept and bring it to 2 million, 5 million people by next week. And they're gonna look at it like, they'll let you come back to you and say, you copied them.
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, people that know, do your research, I've been doing this. So I did that just so in the future, people don't come back and be like, oh yeah, Sean, yeah, I remember you did that song like Cardi.
Yeah.
Oh, that was out 2 years before I did that, even before hers, you know what I mean? So that was just a stamp, just to say, nah, you know.
Not to get off subject, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna be relevant from what you're saying, but trust me, I've been through that, where
Yeah, yeah.
people take the way I dress, the clothes, the hat, talk the way I talk,
Yeah.
ask the same questions. Like, these people are in the industry that I was around, that mimic everything that I do. They don't think I see it, but I see you, I'm watching you.
We
You know
see
what I mean? But me, I just look at it as like, my whole thing is, I just want to outwork you. You know what I mean? The good thing about today's day from before, if, let's say if I do something, there's a date
Yeah.
on your iPhone, you can always go back and say,
Exactly.
look at this, you
Exactly.
did this, I did this time.
That's right.
So that's how I look at it. So if everybody ever try to say I didn't do something before,
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you facts.
Yeah.
Can't hide that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So just to my next question too. So being in the game so long, like what advice would you give somebody who's gonna come up right now?
It's a business, I mean, there's certain things that you could take from, you know, Smokey Robinson could give you the same game from then to now. There's certain things that just stay, you know what I mean? Consistency and all that. Those are things that never go away. But there's certain things that change because you got this and you got you and things like, you know what I mean? It changes. What was advice you give somebody 10 years ago changes. I say just be exposed to you know, repetition is key. You know what I mean? Repetition, just you know, finding your niche and keep at it. Somebody is watching, and Matt Damon, the actor, did an interview, and he said he did something a while ago, wasn't even a big movie when he was first starting out, but you know, Steven Spielberg, when he finally met him for Saving Private Ryan, oh, me and my wife, he said, me and my wife was, watching one of your old movies. And he said he thought that nobody saw that movie. And Steven Spielberg was watching. He said, and I said, oh, yeah, I like this guy. I want to, at some point work with him, So people are watching. You know what I mean? So stay the course. That's what I would tell people. Stay the course. You don't know, a lot of times, most of the time, a lot of people stop right before, they break through or whatever. So stay the course.
So you're also a father, right?
3 times over.
3 times over. So how being a father kind of changed your work ethic a little bit?
Hell yeah.
So in what way?
I do this. I mean, I try to leave a legacy. That's my whole thing. That's one of my daughters right there. She's an actress. So she's been acting, doing commercials. I've been managing her career. She's been Law and Order, all that, you know what I mean, since she was 3-4 years old, So I want them, now I got real important eyes on me. You know what I mean? Before it's just the world, it's just kind of like a whole fake thing, just to feel good, like, oh yeah, y'all watching me, but now it's serious.
Yeah.
Now I got my daughters, I got 3 daughters now, all of them are watching me, my work ethic, My little daughter, she's 8, and she's, sometimes I'm leaving out the house, when she's going to bed, or she's in bed, and I, give her a good night kiss, and I'm leaving. She said, Daddy, where you going? I said, I gotta go work. I'm going to the studio. I'm going, do interviews or whatever. So that work ethic, I try to implant that in them, so it's very important.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years, hopefully alive. That's the most important. As far as like on a business level, I see growing musically, putting out more projects. The journey to me is more important. Like this is important. You know what I mean? Because if you're looking for a destination, you're doomed. You're doomed, because one thing I know is that you never reach that destination. There was a time where I was like, I want to be signed. I signed 3 major labels. You know what I mean? It got boring quick. It's like getting a new car. You like stare at it all night long, come outside just to look at it or whatever. Couple of months pass, few months, I don't care if it's a Bugatti, like you're gonna get used to it.
Yeah.
Then I wanted to hear myself on the radio, and I did a song, and it got on the radio, a few stations or whatever, that got played out. Then it was like, yo, I wanna see a video on TV, MTV Jams, you know what I mean, played a couple of my videos or whatever. It's like, okay, so accomplishments get old quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You think like, oh, when I do this, that's gonna be it. Nah, it's when it be over, you be like, yo, like that's it. You know what I mean? And so, it's the destination. I wish I could answer where I want to see myself. Nah, the ride. I'm loving this, right? As we go along. You know what I mean? I know that it's gonna be somewhere good because I'm putting in the work. And hard work always pays off. So,
It's kind of like someone said to me one time when I was in school, the goal is not to go to college, the goal is to finish college. You know what I mean? So I guess the best explanation to what you were saying.
Yes.
So
yes.
but for people out there that don't know who you are, like, what can you tell them about yourself?
Yeah, Sean Breed, father, somebody that takes life serious, somebody that has a lot of opinions, as they could probably see on Instagram, a lot of opinions, a realist, I'm a person that deals with the real part of life. You know what I mean? There's after so many wakes and morgues and you start seeing life different. Like I see the real life, all the glitz and glamour like that. That's why I did the song Glitter. It ain't all glitter. You see diamonds in the picture. I see a whole gang of hitters. Like, so We was looking at the same thing, but you see niggas with diamonds and all that. Nah, I see a whole gang of hitters.
Yeah.
I see niggas that's about to, or trying to get them niggas. You know what I mean? I see things unfiltered. You know what I mean? And I'm not too easily swayed by just all that, the fake bullshit. You know what I mean? Real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
You know.
So how can people out there get in contact with you on social media?
Probably Instagram. I used to, back in the day, I used to be like, yo, Twitter and all that. I found myself not even saying Twitter no more. Instagram, Sean Breed, SE with cameras on. I get both of them.
Yeah, that does matter.
Yeah, SEANBREED, Sean Breed. Twitter, I love LUV, Sean Breed. Everything Sean Breed, pretty much. Facebook, Sean Breed. Everything Sean Breed. So, yeah.
Definitely. And you also look at So Focus Life on social media. There's interviews coming on SoFocusMedia.com. We back at NYC again, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you, man. Love, man.
It's about time, man. It's about time. It's happening,
man.
for real, man.
Love it, man. I love what you do.
Yeah, you too.
And for the record, I reached out to this guy. You know what I mean? A lot of times, you know, and that's part of what I was just talking about. A lot of times people want things set up in a way where it benefits them to make them look good. Oh yeah, Team Focus, they reached out to me because they know I reached out to him because I like what he was doing.
I appreciate that.
You know what I
Also, too, like me, it's more timing because people think that, like, first of all, everybody think I've moved back to New York, but I still travel here, you know, 2 times a week.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's hard to plan. I might have to work and, you know, things happen. You know what I mean? But I'm just happy that this finally be able to happen. And it's about time, man.
Yes.
And thank you for appreciating watching the show, man. It's all love.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Love. All right.
So Sean Breed, So Focus, Team Focus Trader, we out of here. Let's get it. Get it.
Originally, I was like, who is that? What are they doing? Whatever. And then I went on and saw some of your work and I liked it. So I was like, yeah, let's do it.
If you don't show that you're hungry, nobody's gonna give you an opportunity.
Just do what you're doing and be good at what you do. And if it's that great, the greats will notice you.
It's all about team focus. And I'm with my G, So Focus.
You locked in with Team Focus Radio.
Team Focus Radio. Team Focus Radio.
Team Focus Radio with my boy, So Focus.
We're so focused.
With my boy, So Focused. Get focused, y'all.
So Focus Media.